Hello, my viewers. Welcome back to the channel. And by the video title, you know what this video is about. Who is the best QB in the NFL 2023 draft? In the 2023 NFL draft. Same thing. But last year's draft class for QBs was not the best. I think it's three guys who I like the most, of course, being Kenny Pickett, Malik Willis, and Desmond Ridder. I like those guys. I still like those guys today. I feel like those guys can help you win games. If they in the right system and they play, they can get built up and be good quarterbacks. But these guys, I'm at the name right here, these four guys that stand up to me the most can help you win games now. They can be day one starters and go out there and play week one and help you win now. And the first guy is the Alabama quarterback, Bryce Young. In my opinion, he's the perfect QB. But for the other people, it's probably he's like the almost perfect QB. Bryce Young he's an excellent passer. Amazing accuracy. He can be mobile. We've seen him have the games where he had 190 yards passing and 100 rushing yards. And we see him be clutch, go out there and play when the heat is on, the pressure is on, go out there and make plays and game-winning drives. We've seen that in the bowl game that he played. I forgot what team he was playing against. The bowl game he played, went out there and just making big-time plays and just showing the dominance and stuff. Of course, it's Alabama, so Alabama always dominates and go crazy. But he also played, Coach Saban. Coach Saban gets you ready for the NFL. Now, college and NFL are not similar, not the same. But I think Alabama program out of all the other colleges are probably the closest you can get to the NFL level. Coach Saban going to run like a military boot camp a little bit. He's kind of like him, Bill Belichick, Coach K. They're gonna run that little military boot camp type style, and gonna prepare you for the next level every time and make sure you play the best in your role. And Bryce Young played amazing football. And in my opinion, only the perfect quarterback a little bit if you look at it. But some people say he won't be the perfect quarterback because of the height and the size. He's listed at 6 foot, but if you actually watch him and look at him and stand next to people, he's kind of like 5'10", 5'11"-ish. I think, like in sports, they kind of boost the heights a little bit. It's kind of like a wrestling dude. They'd be like, oh, this man is 7 feet tall. He'd be like, he's not 7 feet. He's like, I think they said Batista was like 6'7" or something. Batista's like 6'2" or something. He's not 6'7", but like they kind of exaggerate heights a little bit. In football, like, oh, but maybe he's 6 foot with the cleats on. But people saying that his size, him being smaller in stature, being like 180 or 90 pounds ish, and then being like 5'10", 5'11"-ish, maybe 6 foot, 6 feet with the cleats on or something. They're saying that he won't be able to make it to the next level. But in my opinion, you look at a lot of guys around the league. Look at Russell Wilson. You look at all these different quarterbacks who made it to the next level. Might not be a lot right now in the league, but there's some guys who had done some great things like that, maybe being a smaller stature. Kyler Murray, a guy who's been a smaller stature, being able to go out there and still play amazing football and stuff. So I feel like with his arm talent and his athleticism and his mobility, he should play well. And it's not like he can go in the league and not lift weights. He can lift some weights. He can build some size to him like that, so he can take some hits and stuff. But I don't think it'll be a problem for him like to see over the line or throw over the line. He dropped back. We see him do it in Alabama with some of those big O-linemen they got there and make some plays. So I don't think it'll be a problem for him to transition that to the NFL. Of course, it'd be a higher degree in the NFL, of course. But I still feel like he'd be good, and hopefully he'll go to the Texans, because Texans organization is not that good. But I think he can go there and he can still look good and play well. But the organization for the Texans is just bad. They've been in a rut ever since Bill O'Brien. Bill O'Brien brought that whole organization down. He sabotaged them basically, trading away DeAndre Hopkins, Deshaun Watson stuff that happened, and things that happened, and all crazy stuff that happened underneath his watch, and then they're doing just a lot of mayhem stuff happened, blowing the leads, all the losses, the playoff losses, paying Brock Osweiler all that money, and there's some crazy stuff that Bill O'Brien did. That's why you can't make the coach, the GM, and the coach sometimes. Certain people, because they get too much power in their hands, they think they can just control everything, like college or something, and he messed the whole organization up. But Bryce Young is a very good quarterback, and most likely he might be going to the Texans. The Texans need a quarterback, so if he go there, hopefully he can change the franchise and be the savior, the hero, because they need it. But moving on to the next quarterback is C.J. Stroud from Ohio. And he's a very underrated guy. I know a lot of people didn't like him a lot. I don't know why, but watching his tape and watching him play, I watched a few games. Very accurate quarterback. Has a quick release. It reminds me of watching, I ain't saying he's like Aaron Rodgers, but it reminds me of watching Aaron Rodgers a little bit. The way he has the quick release and he can deliver the ball fast and very accurate. I think he's the most accurate out of all the other quarterbacks. He can go out there and just play amazing football, and we see him put the ball in some tight windows and tight spirals. If you don't believe me, go watch some games, go watch some of his film, some of his tape, and you'll be like, yeah, he can put the ball anywhere on the field like that. He has a quick release, so he can get the ball off fast, and it's very accurate too. Like dropping the ball in the bucket. We've seen some plays where people getting bracketed, and he just drop it like a helicopter, drop the ball from the sky, and just play amazing football. And he's pretty athletic too. He has some athleticism too. He's a little mobile as well, like that. So he'd be a nice guy to add to your team. And I think he helped you win day one. And a nice touch on the ball. You know, having that type of passer who can put the ball anywhere, and it just makes everything easier for the receivers. You know, for the play call, he's like, hey, he can put the ball anywhere. I can just call this play, and the ball gonna get there. It's gonna get there, and it's gonna be timed right. He has some great timing. Now, sometimes he might get a little overzealous and might try to do some crazy stuff occasionally, but most of the time he's very poised, he's very calm, and he go out there and he delivers and stuff. So C.J. Stroud is gonna be very good. Moving on next, to Will Levis. Will Levis, strong arm, very strong arm. He's athletic. He's built too. He's about 230. He's 6'3", 230-ish, around that range, and he has a strong arm. You watch some of his tape, he can put the ball. He might can get the ball 75, 80 yards. And you look at some of like the throws he made, those deep passes. He's very good at getting the ball there in the middle. He's very good at deep shots, of course, with that strong arm he got. And I feel like an explosive like offense, if somebody has a team with some speedsters out there, a team with some guys who can get down the field, some deep threat type of guys, he can put the ball there. It'll be a great combination. He has that strong arm, and he's gonna be amazing. And his numbers might not do him justice in college. You look at his numbers, like 2,000 yards. He had 22 touchdowns and stuff. But if you actually watch the games and see the throws that he made some big time throws and made some amazing throws around the field. His O-line wasn't even the best either last year like that, but he still was able to sit back there in that pocket and be poised in the pocket and had some great pocket mobility and made some big time throws and stuff. So I feel like in the right system, I don't know exactly where he's gonna go like that. Maybe he may get drafted. I don't know if he get drafted top 10 or not, but maybe he might get drafted later rounds, or the Buccaneers need a quarterback. Maybe they might trade up for him like that. He'd fit well in that offense. You have Mike Evans, you have Chris Godwin. You have some guys who can go out there and get the ball for you and stuff. And if they build the O-line up a little bit better with that strong arm QB like that, they can run that offense they want to run in Tampa Bay. Moving on to the last quarterback, who is my favorite quarterback in the draft, who's an underrated guy, is Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson, I know he's very underrated. People are saying that he won't be top 10. They're saying he won't be good. He might, if you draft him first, he might be a bust. I know a lot of people don't really like him as much, but I see a lot of potential. I see a lot of talent in him. Anthony Richardson, he's an athletic specimen. He's 6'4", about 230, 240-ish. He's very mobile. He's an athlete. He's like one of those guys you like, hey, like you know, you were seeing a guy like in high school who could just do everything. He was playing basketball, football, he was playing soccer, he was playing everything like that, track and everything. He's like one of those type of guys, just like those versatile type of guys. And he reminds me of a Cam Newton and Josh Allen like that. He has a lot of talent, has a nice arm, strong arm, and can go out there and just be talented, make big time plays. He's a playmaker on the field. And I feel like in the right system, they can develop him to be similar styles to Cam Newton and Josh Allen like that. And we know what Cam Newton and Josh Allen can do. Cam Newton's a former MVP, is an amazing player, has a great career. And we know Josh Allen is an amazing player as well. He's second team All-Pro before and multiple-time Pro Bowler as well. I think he's kind of in that type of range with athleticism, his size, his ability, and the things he can do, the playmaking abilities he can make. And I feel like in the right system, he can become a good quarterback. I'm thinking the Panthers. Panthers got Frank Wright there. Frank Wright is a good coach. He got fired. There's some bad stuff that happened to the coach. You know, the quarterback cards not being the best for him. He got drawn a lot of different QBs because after Andrew Luck retired, and then we see a lot of injuries happen and a lot of things happening. Frank Wright still did a good job in keeping the Colts very competitive and getting the playoffs at one time with Phillip Rivers and stuff, but just they have the right talent at QB. If he goes in and they can draft Anthony Richardson in the draft, I feel like it'll be very good for the team because Frank Wright is the offensive-minded coach, and he's good with QBs and stuff. We've seen what he did with Carson Wentz. We used Carson Wentz, offensive coordinator, and with the Eagles, Carson Wentz out there was an MVP candidate. Like that, he tore his ACL, so he wasn't having in the same sense. And with the Colts, he didn't look the best, but you look at his numbers wasn't that bad. Like that, and Frank Wright was the head coach of that team. Now that last game, he was tripping. He fumbled a lot of passes and stuff. But Frank Wright, I feel like he's a good offensive coordinator. He can go out there, he can bring the best out of the offense, bring the best out of guys. And with the Panthers, rushing attack they had. Cause last year they rushed for like 200 plus rushing yards in a game like 4 or 5 times last year. And that defense they have too. It'd be very quarterback friendly, having a defense to lean on, having a rushing attack you can rely on, and having a guy in DJ Moore who's a very good receiver, and Terrence Marshall who's becoming a good receiver as well. At your disposal as well. I feel like Anthony Richardson there will be developed well, and I feel like he'd be a good QB, and he's my favorite QB in the draft. From Florida like that, he's playing. He played amazing football. If you watch some of his highlights, some of his film, he's just playing amazing football, like watching Cam Newton in his prime and watching Josh Allen in his prime like that. Like that's similar styles as being a playmaker on the field. I'm not saying that he's them, because those guys compass a lot. Well, Josh Allen still encompasses a little more, but Cam Newton encompasses a lot. He was MVP, went to the Super Bowl, All-Pro, multiple-time Pro Bowler. He has one of the best rookie seasons as a QB ever and stuff like that. Also, all type of crazy stuff. But Anthony Richardson has potential to be like that on that par and type of level. I feel like he has a lot of potential for that, and hopefully he becomes that. That's my favorite QB in the draft so far. But yeah, that's all I got for this video, guys. Let me know who your favorite QB is in the draft, and let me know who you think will be the best QB in the draft. In my opinion, I think it'd be Anthony Richardson. I think initially it'd be Bryce Young. Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud might be like the ones. It might be ahead of him, and Levi. I said Levi Wallace. I mean, Willis Levi will be probably in front of him, I think, too, a little bit. But I think once, like year 2 or 3-ish, that would be when Anthony Richardson kind of emerged to be like that guy. Like around year 2 or 3, you kind of see where a quarterback will truly be the rest of his career. In year 1, you see like glimpses of the stuff, but in year 2 and 3, you're like, okay, they got more rep, they got more time to prepare and stuff. They the first team reps. You see kind of where they're going to be at. I think Anthony Richardson in the long run is going to be the best quarterback in this draft class. But let me know in the comment section what you guys think down below. That's all I got for this video, and I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Peace out.